Hello, I'm Trevor Lane, founder of LexAlign. In this video, we're going to see how easy it is to get customized compliance essentials by using LexAlign. Hundreds of thousands of small companies that work with banks and handle consumer financial data are responsible for compliance with complex and evolving data security rules and other consumer protection laws. LexAlign's customized compliance essentials are designed to provide actionable information on what the laws require and to provide the documents companies need to demonstrate their responsibility and compliance. After signing in, a user sees their dashboard. Dashboards are specific to each sector. This dashboard is for an auto dealer. It lists the areas of law specific to the retail automotive sector. It shows which modules they completed and which there are still left to do. We'll take a look at information security. It's a particularly complex set of rules and expectations that is incredibly difficult for small companies to meet. The Safeguards rule requires that each company have an information security program and a security risk assessment. In fact, under the law, their program is required to be based on the business's own Security Risk Assessment, or SRA. The Federal Trade Commission has stated that the SRA must include a complete inventory of the company's customer data practices and assess the adequacy of their controls. Typically, that would take weeks to do, including scheduling an audit with an outside consulting firm, including the time it takes the expert to travel to the company's site, the 1 to 3 days it takes to do the audit, and the time it takes to prepare the reports. With LexAlign, this takes only a couple of hours or so. Companies can do it at their own pace and at their own time. For purposes of this demo, we're going to take a look at a small portion of the process. One of the key factors about LexAlign is that it's designed for the non-expert. All you need to know to use LexAlign is what you're currently doing in business. The questions simply ask you what your current activities are, such as how do you interact with consumers. By clicking the answer choices, a company tells us the relevant business practices for the analysis under the law. We try to avoid specialized legal or regulatory language as much as possible, and just use the language of each sector. Each module is actually conformed to the different sectors and the language and lingo of the sector. Where we need to define a term, we define it by means of a hyperlink. By clicking on the term, a company would find out what the definition is on the same page. LexAlign is optimized to be used on a tablet or handheld device in addition to a laptop computer, so that everything appears on the same page. Once the system knows some information, it drills down a little further to get more information that's relevant to the company's practices, in this case, what they do with information contained on emails. You can see that we use the word buyer's worksheet and customer information card here. That is lingo that's current in the auto sector. After doing a complete inventory, the system takes them through a series of safeguards to determine what they're doing that's relevant under the analysis. In this case, the security of their digital copiers. Our answer choices are based on research in the field, in the sectors, with our partners and with the end users to ensure accuracy and completeness. We also permit open responses. At this point, the company has completed their information security risk assessment. They've gotten to the end, as you see on the status bar, and they submit the answer telling us who they applied to. At this point, they would go directly to their products page, where they'd be able to obtain their security report and their program. Let's take a look at the information security risk assessment, which is so hard for small companies to achieve. Simply clicking on this page brings up the customized information security risk assessment and action plan that's designed for this company. It contains two dates: the date that the report was rendered and the date that the audit was completed. In this case, those dates are the same. LexAlign's products are designed to keep current companies current as the law changes and as regulators issue new expectations or clarifications on existing expectations. Because we know what companies are doing in business, we can recommend and keep them up to date with the latest information simply by updating these customized products and informing them by email that their customized compliance essential has been updated according to the law. In which case they would log back on. The bottom date would likely stay the same unless they had to answer new questions, but the top date would reflect the latest dates. They know that they're getting the most up-to-date report. Again, this helps them meet federal law requirements designed to help them comply with the FTC's expectations. It contains an inventory of customer information practices, current safeguards and gaps, and an action plan. The inventory displays back to them the information that we have gathered from them about what information they collect, the sources for each of their information, how they collect from each source, how the information is processed into their business, for instance by email. We asked them, and they said one of the things that they do is fill out paper forms. Forms include buyer's worksheet or customer information card. It also includes where the documents and electronic files containing customer information are stored, and by telling us, for instance, that they store information in the form of paper notes in desk drawers, the system would have known to ask them about those desk drawers. At the end of the process, which includes who has access to the information, how they're sharing it with third parties, and how they're disposing of customer information, they get to their current safeguards and gaps analysis. Since we took a look at digital copiers, we'll go directly there. Here we list the safeguard or issue that the FTC has enumerated, the company's practice, and whether it's an adequate safeguard, an inadequate safeguard, or a gap. Our display here was designed according to market testing to be the most easy to use for frontline managers. These issues and the gap analysis itself can be configured to a financial institution's policies. Once they've taken a look at the safeguards and gap analysis, they can go directly to their action plan. Here we list the same issues and indicate what the action is that's required. For instance, they told us that passcode protection of all copier hard drives was not currently enabled, but it is an option on some of their copiers. One of the actions that we recommend is that they stop using copiers that lack passcode protection of hard drives for any document containing customer information, instruct their staff accordingly, and place signs on each copier, indicating whether that copier can be used for documents containing customer information. This is an example of how we take the laws and the requirements and the regulator expectations and process it and provide it in actionable language for a frontline business manager. Where they have to have a written policy, we indicate what the policy must contain. And if they buy their information security program from us, that will be contained in it. So here you get a sense for how LexAlign works, how easy it is for a company to obtain its fundamental compliance essentials from LexAlign rather than having to hire expensive outside consultants, and how we keep them updated as the law changes. Thank you very much.